Hey Playas, how you darn? It's summertime, and I just visited the Southern Fried Gaming Expo down in Atlanta. I got to meet up with some really cool people down there in Tennessee and Georgia. So let's take a look. This video, I'm going to talk all about my trip. So I arrived in Tennessee and stayed with AtHomeDadGamer for a while. We then made our way down on the Friday to Atlanta, the Renaissance Hotel where the Southern Fried Game Expo was held at, and we stayed on the 10th floor. We met up with DpadDanny. I'll put some links to his YouTube and Twitch below so you guys can check him out. And we entered the expo. Right away we saw some different vendors, some art vendors. Not too many game vendors right away. Actually, there's only one table that had some games. The rest of it was all art. And then there was this big open area for people to do tabletop gaming and role play gaming. I guess they were playing some Dungeons and Dragons or Magic the Gathering. We found a Nintendo booth, so we made our way over there. And there was a girl there with some really neat hair. Got a shot of that. It reminds me of that dinosaur from Jurassic Park. We got some free swag from the Nintendo booth and then headed into the gameplay area where there were some vendors. It looked like there was only 3 vendors here. They all had really good stuff, but I gotta say I was a little bit disappointed in the vendor area. I was expecting more. So they were set up for some different competitions and had a bunch of old consoles set up that you could play. Lots of different stuff. Saturday morning, there was a marketplace or a flea market where people could set up vendor tables. So there was an opportunity there for 2 hours to buy some games and stuff. AtHomeDadGamer got some really good deals. I didn't really find anything special. I guess I was being a bit picky because I had to take it home with me on the plane. But the reason you go to the Southern Fried Gaming Expo is not really for the vendors. It's for the games. And there was tons and tons of arcades at this event. There was also quite a few pinball. There's people who were really into pinball. But I was there to play the retro arcades. There was some modern stuff. There was some different multi-cabs. But lots of I would say the majority of what was there was from the 80s and early 90s. So yeah, tons of retro arcade cabs to play. I seen there was a few Scramble arcades there. So I played that for a bit. I like that game. So yeah, that Friday night we walked around, just checked out what different arcade games and different pinball games were there available for us to play, and we stumbled upon Bucky O'Hare. That's when we met up with our friend Owaz from Twitch. I'll put a link to his Twitch, you can check it out. And the 4 of us played through Bucky O'Hare. Here's some shots of the end of the game here, the final screens. So yeah, I guess spoiler alert, it's a little bit late, but there you go. So Saturday morning we headed over to the film festival and caught the new 8-Bit Heroes. It is a indie movie about NES homebrews. So after watching that, I had to go check out the indie game dev area. There was a lot of neat and interesting games there. Many of them had a retro style, which I find appealing. And so I tried to get some different screenshots of some of the games that I found interesting here. There was also a VR section set up, and people were playing some different VR games there. This game here looks like Sonic the Hedgehog, I thought, so that was interesting. Tons and tons of pinball. Yeah, so if you're into pinball, this is a really good event for you. So when I was talking about vendors, there were some vendors selling some stuff to repair your pinball machines. I was more so talking about, I guess, the lack of game vendors because I'm really into console gaming. But if you're into pinball, great place to go. We then played a Starship Simulator, where we each took on a role and I guess manned a starship through space. And we did that for a little while. Then it was time. It was Saturday night, so yeah, it was time to say goodbye and get any last games in that we wanted to play. So we hit the game room floor after dinner and just looked for any games that caught our eye that we didn't get to play before that looked interesting. We got to play some classic games that aren't always, around for us to play, or different ports don't quite do the justice they should. There was a boxing game. It was called Boxer, I think. It looks like it was called Boxer, where we all got to test our strength after a couple drinks. And there were some kids there that were like running up to it, charging it, and then Superman punching it, and they were hitting some pretty high numbers. For us, though, we just decided to stand there and punch it like men and see who could get the highest score. But yeah, lots of interesting games there. One of the interesting games that we all wanted to play when we saw it was the Darius arcade cab. Now, this arcade cab looks like it has... It appears to be 3 screens that are reflected on... it might be a mirror. I'm not exactly sure how it works, but it was really cool. Alright, players, so that was the Southern Fried Gaming Expo 2019. Had a good time. If you enjoyed this video, there's going to be some links to other similar videos. A homebrew video, because I talked a bit about homebrews. So check that video out at the end. And if you're not already subscribed, you can see what this channel is all about. And also there's some links to some of my friends that I got to meet up with and some of the members of Playas Guide. You can find links to them below. Check out their channels and enjoy your summer. More cheers, more beers. That's it. That's all. Later, players.